welcome to the Motorsport Coaching Podcast, sponsored by Motivate Training and Management. This is a podcast where we talk to drivers and industry experts to help you maximize your performances on and off the track. Let's get started with today's show. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Thanks, Belinda. Thanks for having me. This is great.
I know. I'm excited because, I love software, and people who generally listen to the show know that I love software. So before we get into your software platform, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I've been in the fitness industry for 20 years now. Started in Australia, in Sydney. Moved to Europe in 2003. I did the PT level up to the diploma here, and then studied exercise therapy in Europe. So I was in Switzerland for 8 years. Ran a personal training business over there, which got big fairly quickly, and we licensed it out then in a paper form to Belgium and Germany. And then it wasn't until coming back to Australia in about 2011 that the cloud came about. So we tried to get what we had in the paper version over onto a cloud-based software so that we could sort of allow other trainers to use it as well, as opposed to only trainers who work for us. So. Yeah.
And was it always called GOX PRO, or has it changed its name over that time?
Good question. Now, the software was always called GOX PRO, but it was based on, as I said, the paper version, which was Excellence Coaching.
Yep.
For us working in the French part of Switzerland and also selling to the German part, we needed a name that worked in all three languages. And Excellence Coaching didn't have to be translated. It worked basically in all three languages. So that's where it started from, and I guess that's where the GOX PRO, so it's the pro version of Excellence Coaching, if you like, was where it all came about. So, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Because it doesn't really say, biomechanical software program, does it?
No, it's a bit long anyway. Yeah, but I mean that's what it's based on. I mean, originally our whole personal training concept was based on how can we improve someone's life through fitness, and it went a bit deeper than just getting people to move. We looked at how they moved. So we're fairly passionate, especially me, about posture and biomechanics, so how someone moves, muscle inhibition, muscular dysfunction. So identifying that when someone starts their training journey, if you like, was the goal, and then adapting a program to their strengths, to their weaknesses, and to their goals that then we could then track. So that was sort of the creation point of the platform, was from there. And then we built in the businessy parts around that.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the main reasons we utilise GOX PRO is because the most important thing as a motorsport athlete is their posture. And so, especially on the motorcycle side of things, so it's really important that we have a full awareness of postural awareness, especially when we're training. And having an online business, GOX PRO gave us that ability to be able to do postural analysis online. So thanks for putting that in, Jace. I mean, that's what I feel is your competitive edge to other software programs.
Yeah, great. I appreciate that. I've always found it extremely hard to do a program without having done that level of testing with someone first. I mean, if you look, we know from studies that 87% of people have a predisposition to injury before they start training. This could be because of the way they sit with rounded shoulders. It could be because they have their pelvis is tilted a long way forward and they have a large arch in their lower back. This sort of, as you know, Belinda, it causes certain muscles to be inhibited and other muscles to be overactivated neurologically. So we need to, as trainers, identify this before we then do a program for somebody.
Yeah, absolute key. Like that's regardless if it's for a motorsport athlete or for general pops, or that's general population, but it's really important to have a postural analysis.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But then to track the progress of it as well. So it's always great to see how you're progressing through mobility, through strength, through posture. So I think it's, to have the reporting tool that we have in the software as well, just gives that instant visual feedback to clients on how they're progressing.
Yeah, so let's go a little bit deeper into the software. What's the kind of the first step, I guess, in signing up? And
as a client?
Yeah.
So as a client coming on training with a personal trainer, they'll go through the pre-exercise screening, which is fairly standard in most gyms now, which is great. We'll go then into detecting what their goals are, what they want to get out of the training session, whether it be online or in gym. Based on that, then we'll go straight into the postural assessment. So we're kind of like peeling the layers of an onion away. We'll look first at static posture, And then we'll look at dynamic posture, so how the muscles work together to help stabilize the joints. And then straight on that, we get a hypothesis or an idea of which muscles might be inhibited and which muscles might be tight. We do a couple of further sort of muscular tests to prove that theory or not. And based on that, the software actually then suggests exercises for the client's first program to help release muscles that are tight and strengthen muscles that are weak. So all up, it's not really rocket science, but it's just taking the time to find out the strengths and weaknesses of the person, taking into account their goals, and then building a program that's adapted and progressing them on from there.
Yeah, and again, it's so important to have a clear understanding of people's strengths and weaknesses. And I guess that's why it's called personalised program, and that's not a generic approach. There's not one program that fits all. And again, that's what's something I love about the program, that there's how many exercises are there actually in there?
It's about 2,000 in there now, progressed in order of difficulty. We did that just simply through experience over the years with a number of people that have worked for us and working in fitness schools. You can see that a lot of beginner trainers tend to struggle with how to progress or regress exercises. They'll tend to go and find the fanciest exercise on YouTube and give it to everybody, but it might not be the best adapted exercise for a 55-year-old woman who has never trained before. Mm-hmm. So it's all about that. So it just helps them progress. Clients love the feeling as well as they progress through the levels of an exercise. So it gives you that sort of feeling of progression, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And what kind of features does the program have?
So there's four major features in there. We've got the business module. So inside the business module, we link to EasyPay and Stripe to take credit card payments and do direct debits. We link to Xero for accounting in there as well. And that module is really all about managing your business, adding clients, moving clients between trainers, adding trainers and taking payments, etc. Then we've got the training module. So really for the one-on-one training, where we can do really individualized programs like we've been talking about. We can then deliver them either old school via, printed program, or sending it directly to the phone application so that the client can train off their phone. And then the last section is the group training. So we've got a group module in there as well, which is a bit sort of like the style where you can put it up onto a TV screen and have your exercises up on there, voiced over and run group classes. Or if someone misses that class, you can take that same class and deliver it straight to their phone so they can do it remotely.
Yeah, and because it does come with an app, that's what you're mentioning, but it's not available through the Apple Store. So tell us a little bit about how people can access the app and how does the app work, or how can people view their program?
Right. So the technology we're using with the client-facing application is called PWA. It was actually created by Steve Jobs, the guy from Apple. Then he realized he couldn't make any money out of it, so he kind of shelved it and opened the App Store. So clients don't have to go to the App Store or the Google Play Store to download the app. It's actually, at the moment, it's delivered to them as soon as their trainer sends them a program. They get an email, they click on the link, and it adds an app icon to their phone, and then they have access to all their programs through that. So once they're inside it looks like any App Store or Google Play app. But it's just it's new technology that came from the past, if you like. But it's a lot of companies, without me being the tech guy in here at all, there's a lot of companies starting to use this type of technology now for their app delivery.
And so, Jace, when someone does receive their program, what does it look like?
The program, so they'll first get an email. There'll just be a link on there. There's a little video of how to install the app onto your phone. You just basically click on the link and it comes up. As the app on the phone, so you can see the exercises. It's hard without a demo to show you here what it actually looks like, but you've got your exercises in there either as sequenced images. They're good sized images. We've been careful about someone training, sweaty fingers, not having to too many clicks. It's quite easy to get to the next exercise. It's just slide it across and then you see the next exercise come up. When you've finished your workout program, you can also rate the session. Which gives instant feedback to your trainer then to if he needs to up the intensity, if you like the session, was it intense enough, how fatigued were you after, etc. Because if he's training you remotely, then he needs that feedback to be able to adapt the program accordingly.
If she's training you remotely. And so all the exercises come with video images.
Either videos or images that are sequenced that are moving. So it depends on how functional an exercise is. If it's a more functional exercise, definitely a video, yes.
Yeah, so that's a big benefit. So if people don't necessarily understand what the exercise is called, all the exercises come with clear videos or images, as you said, two-part images to see the start and the finish of the exercise quite easily.
Yeah, you've got the notes as well for the exercise that are either put in by us or put in by the trainer, explaining how to do the exercise as well.
Yeah, so it can be personalised for the individual based on their strengths and weaknesses as well. And as you're saying, whether they want to regress or progress the exercises, there's a note section that would be applicable to everyone or to the individual.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And so with the app, you can view it on the mobile phone, also the program. You can view it on the mobile phone as well as desktop.
Yeah, that's the beauty again of the PWA technology we're using. Clients can use it either on an Android phone, on an Apple phone. They can use it on tablets, but they can also use it on a computer. Which, with the confinement, since COVID's been going on, we're finding that more and more people who were using their phones to do programs are now wishing to use a computer with a bigger screen because they're at home. So we've been lucky with the technology that we can also open these programs on a computer screen.
Awesome. Does it screen to Apple? No.
Say again?
Does it screen to Apple TV? No.
You can, if you've got an Apple iPhone, you can anyway. You can zoom it straight onto a TV. You can even go with a HDMI cable. I've done that a few times where you just plug it with an adapter. You plug your HDMI cable into your TV and into your phone and do it off the TV. So
we spoke about resistance programs. What about the cardiovascular programs?
Yeah, so there's a multitude of different types of programs that your trainer can build for you in there, from sort of long steady state training to high intensity interval training, Tabata type training programs as well. So it comes with a graph and a couple of different timers that come up that time the intervals. So as the client, I just follow on what my trainer has set for me. Whether they want me to do 20-second sprints and 20-second rest, something simple like that, then I just follow on from the timer on the phone. The trainer can also send me like a HIIT style workout, which is time per station. So instead of having a program where I've got my reps and my weight that I record, that we can do, I can also receive a program which is a circuit style program, time per station, which is voiced over. So it comes up, tells me when I've got to change station and when I'm halfway through a station, etc. So, and how many rounds I need to do. So there's a lot of versatility there for the trainer using their skill set to create adaptive programs in the style they want for their client.
Awesome. I love it. Obviously, I'm a bit biased though. Does it come with a daily schedule? So from an athlete's perspective or general public, can they see exactly what they're meant to do every single day?
We're about to build that in actually. So at this stage, originally it was built for in-gym training. We're now, with what's happened, we've pivoted and we're building in more and more features now so that we can train people remotely as well. For example, with the questionnaire, the health questionnaire that goes out, originally we can now do that as well online. So it can be filled in on phones and sent back. So in terms of the scheduling, the trainer has his schedule for when he puts all these clients in. We're just about to build in a schedule as well on the client side, so that if they get a program that's over several days, it would just fit to their calendar. Yeah.
Great. And you mentioned previously there was questionnaires to fill out. What kind of information is asked on those questionnaires?
Yeah, good question, Belinda. So we're looking at obviously the pre-screening. So we're looking at what sort of contraindications may you have at the moment. Do you have lumbar spine problems? Do you have any hip issues, knee issues, etc. that are known? So we're just detecting all these different points coming through, and then we're looking at your goals in there as well. What do you as a client want to get out of your training sessions? What's most important to you? And then what software does is it collects all this information and puts it directly into the program for you. So it's always at a glance. Whatever the trainer then starts with the client, he always sees the information, their goals, their strengths, their weaknesses, and their contraindications. It goes one step further than that too, in that if someone's put in, for example, they've got a lumbar disc herniation, for example, and the trainer might not be well versed on what that problem is, he can simply click on it and it brings up then a PDF talking about that problem and then tells him what he can do and what he can't do with someone who has that contraindication to exercise.
Great. It's an education as well for the trainers in the back end.
Very much so. And we work with a couple of fitness schools at the moment. Excuse me. And we're just about to actually in final stages of discussing with a very prominent fitness school in Australia to help include this as an educational tool to help enable the education in a more practical and motivating way for students, actually.
Fantastic. So it's really quite easy to use. As I said, here at Motivate, we utilize GOX Pro. If anyone's interested in getting an exercise program with us, it is sport specific. All you need to do is go to motivatetraining.com.au under athlete performance, and you can book in a free strategy call. And then from there, basically, if you'd like to work with us, we can design that program for you. We send you the link to get started with a medical questionnaire that comes back, and then the ball just starts rolling, doesn't it, Jace?
It does. And I think you've nailed it there, Linda, by saying something important. I mean, since the COVID-19, there's a multitude of apps out there with generic programs. I mean, you can go and train with, Chris Hemsworth's app for, very little money. But again, you've got to remember that these trainings, whilst they're great and they're motivating, it's very generic. So it's one size fits all.
Yeah.
The big point of difference here with getting an individualized program is that it's based on your strengths, your weaknesses, and your goals, and then progress from there. That's the huge point of difference.
Yeah, and that's the benefit of working with us at Motivate. Jace, is there anything else you want to tell us about GOX Pro today? Benefits, the features?
No, I think that's from my angle. That's pretty good. From my side, that's pretty good for now.
Well, I'm enjoying working with you, and I continue to support GOX Pro going forward, and looking forward to all of those new updates soon.
Great, thanks, Benita. I love working with you too. Your feedback's been sensational. So that's we pride ourselves on trying to take the feedback and then implement it into the app as quickly as possible. So it's been awesome.
Thanks. Try to help where I can. Anyway, Jace, thanks again, guys. Don't forget, if you'd like a personalised program, get in contact with us at motivatetraining.com.au. Until next week, see you later. Well, thanks everyone for listening to this week's show. I really hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. Now, remember, all the show notes with the links and the specials mentioned in today's show are available over at motivatetraining.com.au. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate if you could head to iTunes or Stitcher, type in Motorsport Coaching, subscribe, and leave us a review. Each week, I'll read them out, and you'll go into monthly draw to win a fantastic prize. If you have any questions or comments, please email us at motivatetraining.com.au or head over to our Facebook page at Motivate Until next time, take care.